is a limited supply of them. And you also had the Kremlin saying earlier today that these missiles would not impact the outcome of the conflict.
Well, look, I think on your second point there, we can discount most things that the Kremlin says about the conflict in Ukraine. But even if we just put to one side that symbolism point, to knock out one of the two major logistical supply routes to Russian forces in Crimea and in the south of Ukraine, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. And that means that the Russians have to put all of their logistics through the other rail link in the south of Ukraine, coming through the Donbass and coming across that land corridor between Kherson in the west and the Donbass in the east. That makes it much easier for the Ukrainians to then attack that logistical corridor. So no matter what the price of these missiles is, dropping that bridge is of huge benefit to the Ukrainians militarily.
Talk to me about the overall Ukrainian game plan here. I mean, Ukraine has been on the back foot when it comes to the land war for a few months now. Has that game plan changed? What is it?
Well, what has changed is this 60 billion supply pipeline, and also a number of European nations have also stepped up their supplies. So the UK has just offered another £500 million worth of supplies. And so rather than being on the strategic defensive, the Ukrainians can now certainly shift to stabilize their front lines. And then I would be using some of these longer range systems like ATACMS, like the Storm Shadow that the UK has just donated a couple of days ago. And I would be using them to particularly hit Crimea. You've mentioned the Kerch Bridge. There's lots of naval assets and air assets in Crimea. And all of these make it much more difficult